I saw the movie It Ends With Us, and this is my honest review as a DV survivor herself. I can honestly say that this movie was so extremely disappointing and completely missed the mark. If you don't like spoilers, I would say skip right now. And to people who have gone through DV or any type of sexual assault, I would say watch with caution. I have not read the book on purpose. Before I go into depth, I do want to give this movie its flowers. It was well intentioned. And I'm so glad that this topic is even being brought up in the cinemas and it's something that we're all talking about right now. I like how it portrayed the love bombing in the beginning. They romanticized their relationship from the beginning. And they did such a good job in showing how abusers are really so attractive and they are well liked and high achieving in society. This is strictly my take on how the movie portrayed a topic like this. I like how she did not realize that she was in an abusive relationship until it was too late, and that's usually how it happens. So let's go into what I didn't like. First of all, the PR speaks for itself. Blake Lively, hands down, just did a shitty job. The dark nature of this topic was literally glossed over by the need to be a rom-com and just for market appeal. Her only conversations about DV in this movie were, you are more than what a man did to you, or you are so much more than just a survivor. Okay, but that's just does such an injustice to what trauma actually is and what it does to a person. You can't just forget about trauma. And yeah, in theory, you are more than your trauma, absolutely. But to trauma survivors, we carry that shit with us our entire lives. We carry it well and we carry it with different coping skills. It doesn't define us, but the conversation shouldn't just be about you're more than what a man did to you. We obviously are, but that is such an injustice to trauma survivors and how we carry ourselves. As a disclaimer, I got married when I was 22 years old to a very abusive man. And after a few violent altercations, I did eventually get a divorce. I could really relate to Lily's character. So many other things such as the abuser having a traumatic past and not being able to control rage. I completely get it. But you have to understand that abusers, they control their rage at work. They control their rage with strangers. And then all of a sudden they can't control their rage with the person they're abusing. It doesn't work like that. They know what they're doing. Now getting into the part that really, really rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt like they could have just done so much more with this, was the actual DV scenes. The scenes where it's blurred out whether Ryle is abusing her or not, or putting his hands on him or not, and only showing us later that he did in fact put his hands on him. And I think the premise of the movie was to show how confusing it is in Lily's head if this is abuse or not. But I've literally talked to hundreds of women about this. I've experienced it myself. We're never confused if somebody hit us. We're never confused about the actual act of the abuse. What we do is that we make excuses for them after, whether it's their apology or we want to rationalize it. We want to give them another chance. We want them to be not the person. We want them to become the person that they were in the beginning of the relationship. We are fully aware that we are being abused, fully aware. However, we make excuses for them. So this whole like, oh, she's a bad narrator. Oh, she doesn't know for sure if, did he put his hands on me? I'm confused. Like, it was purely just a cinematic failure. Go ahead and go to part two. Part two of why It Ends With Us, the movie, was so disappointing as a DV survivor. The thing that really pissed me off the most was Blake Lively's acting and the direction they took with Lily's character. Like, where was the pain? Where was the second guessing? Like, anytime there was an act of the abuse, anytime there was DV portrayed in the film, it just seemed like she brushed it over. Like, anyone that has ever been a victim of DV, they know, they feel the pain. Like, there's just no second guessing. And in the end, where she was delivering those powerful lines, was like, if this was your daughter, what would you do? If your daughter came home and said, my boyfriend hit me, what would you do? Or push me down the stairs? And she was smiling while she was saying that. Like, this was the time where she could have really reeled it in. Like, the acting should have kicked in. You should have been crying. We should have felt her pain. But it was just kind of like making it seem like it's that easy to just have this realization and leave your abuser. For somebody like Ryle to just be like, you know what, I am a monster, and just let her have the divorce, that is so unrealistic. 99% of the time, these abusers will gaslight you, will tell you, no, they really didn't do nothing wrong. They will justify their actions, and then they will keep persuading you to keep them. Like, they're not just gonna be like, you're right, I'm wrong, bye. Trust me, it ain't that easy trying to leave an abuser. Most women have to try 6 to 7 times on average to fully leave their abuser. And that is because they make it very difficult for you to leave. This movie glossed over real issues, sugarcoated them. Abusers know exactly how to manipulate you, how to strike you, and how to apologize and keep you in this endless abusive cycle. I was prepared to bawl my eyes out for this movie. I did not shed a single tear. Anytime I felt emotional was me thinking about how bad it actually was in real life. That's the raw truth. I know not everyone will agree, but it's my truth. If you want to see a movie or TV show that really embodies DV, I would recommend watching the movie Made, watching the Netflix show Made. So much emotion, so much truth to what DV survivors really feel like. Well, let me know what y'all thought about it and if you agree to anything I said in the comments.